Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you love jaw-dropping drama and wild twists, you're in the right place. Today we re-diving into a story that'll keep you glued to your screen, a tale of betrayal, stolen millions, and a father's fight to protect his daughter. Picture this. Evan Carter, a former Navy SEAL, thinks he's got the perfect life in Savannah, Georgia, until his wife, Claire, pulls the ultimate double-cross. With lies, a shady lover, and a plan to vanish with their kid, Claire's about to learn you don't mess with a man like Evan. Grab your popcorn, hit that like button, and let's unravel this roller coaster of secrets. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more crazy stories like this. Let's get started. In the heart of Savannah, Georgia, where moss-draped oaks lined historic squares, Evan Carter lived a life of quiet discipline. At 45, his rugged frame and piercing gray eyes hinted at a past far from ordinary. A former Navy SEAL with 18 years in covert ops, Evan now ran a thriving security consulting firm, shielding his scars behind a middle-class facade. His brick home in Ardsley Park, adorned with azaleas, was a sanctuary for him and his 12-year-old daughter, Lily. The neighborhood knew him as the stoic dad who coached Lily OS soccer team and hosted 4th of July cookouts, but few suspected the classified missions that still haunted his dreams. 3 years ago, Evan met Claire Morgan at a charity gala on River Street. Her auburn curls and radiant smile captivated him, and her passion for a children's literacy fund seemed genuine. They married within a year, blending their lives seamlessly, or so Evan thought. Claire, a PR manager for the charity, brought warmth to their home, though her late-night client dinners grew frequent. "Another emergency meeting?" Evan asked one humid June evening in 2025, watching Claire adjust her pearl earrings at the vanity. "You know how it is," she replied, avoiding his gaze in the mirror. "The gala season's brutal, and the donors need hand-holding." Evan nodded, but unease gnawed at him. The gala season had ended weeks ago, and Claire's boss, Margaret Ellis, was in Charleston for a conference. Evan had seen her post on LinkedIn. He kissed Claire's cheek, masking his suspicion. "Don't burn out, okay?" As her Tesla pulled out of the driveway, Evan opened his laptop, activating a GPS tracker he'd discreetly installed on her car a month earlier. His SEAL instincts, honed in war zones, had flared when Claire started coming home with faint traces of men's cologne and vague excuses. The tracker confirmed his fears. Her car wasn't heading to the charity's downtown office, but to the riverfront, a sleek enclave of luxury condos. Evan's face remained stone, a skill from years diffusing crises under fire. He closed the laptop and walked to his study, where a locked safe held relics of his past, a burner phone, dog tags, and a faded photo of his SEAL team. He dialed a number from memory. "Travis, it's Evan," he said, voice low. "I need you to dig into someone." Travis Boyd, his former comms specialist, now worked for a data analytics firm in Atlanta. "Name and details," Travis replied without hesitation. "Claire Morgan Carter. Financials, contacts, everything. Something's off." "Give me 48 hours, Travis said. "And Evan, you good?" Evan glanced at a framed photo of Lily and Claire at Tybee Beach, their smiles frozen in happier times. "I'll be fine," he lied, setting the frame face down. Upstairs, Lily's laughter echoed as she video-chatted with friends, oblivious to the storm brewing. Evan poured a bourbon, staring out at Savannah's twilight. Claire's lies were unraveling, and he'd spent too long in shadows to let betrayal go unanswered. Tomorrow he'd visit Lily's school play, smile for her, and keep up the facade. But tonight the warrior in him stirred, ready to unearth the truth, no matter how ugly. The humid Savannah air clung to Evan Carter's skin as he sat in his study, the glow of his laptop casting shadows across the room. It was 10 p.m., 2 days after he'd tasked Travis Boyd with digging into Claire's secrets. Lily was asleep upstairs, her soccer cleats still by the door from practice, a reminder of the normalcy Evan fought to preserve. His burner phone buzzed, and Travis's voice crackled through. "Evan, you sitting down? This is bad." Evan's jaw tightened. "Hit me." Travis emailed an encrypted file, and as Evan opened it, the truth about Claire Morgan Carter unraveled like a grenade with the pin pulled. The financials were damning. Claire had siphoned $450,000 from their joint accounts over 18 months, masking transfers as charity donations or client expenses. She'd opened 3 credit cards in Evan's name, racking up $120,000 in debt, and taken a second mortgage on their Tybee Island beach house, claiming it was for renovations. The withdrawals aligned with Evan's consulting paydays, a calculated betrayal. Worse, Travis traced the funds to an offshore account in the Caymans, linked to a shell company called Coastal Ventures. The name rang a bell. Claire had mentioned it at a gala, passing it off as a donor's project, but the money was only half the story. Travis hacked into Claire's private email, revealing a chain with Nathan Holt, a disgraced financial broker who'd lost his license in a 2022 fraud scandal. Their messages were brazen: plans to buy condos in Belize, forge Evan's signature on investment papers, and vanish by fall. "He's too busy with Lily to notice," Claire wrote. "Just keep him distracted until we're ready." Nathan's reply chilled Evan. "You're good at distractions, babe. Last night proved it." Attached was a photo: Claire and Nathan at the riverfront condos, her arms around him, smiling in a way Evan hadn't seen in years. Evan's pulse hammered, but his SEAL training kept him steady. He cross-checked the GPS data. Claire S. Tesla had visited the riverfront 17 times in 6 weeks, always late at night. He drove there at midnight, parking discreetly near the condo's glass facade. Slipping into the shadows, he used a compact listening device from his ops days, pressing it against Unit 412's door. Claire's voice drifted through, sharp and impatient. "Nathan, we need his portfolio. $2.8 million bars the Belize deal closes in a month." Nathan's tone was smug. "Relax, Claire. You'll get him to sign. You always do." A laugh, then silence, broken by sounds Evan wished he could unhear. He recorded it all, his face a mask of control. Back home, he poured another bourbon, the amber liquid trembling slightly in his grip. The betrayal cut deeper than any mission gone wrong. Claire wasn't just stealing his money. She was stealing his life, his trust, and worse, she was pulling Lily into her lies. Last week, Claire had snapped at Lily for asking about a vacation in Belize, telling her to stop snooping. Evan saw it now. Claire was grooming Lily to accept their escape, maybe even planning to take her. Evan called Travis again. "I need more. Nathan Holt, who is he to her?" Travis sighed. "They met at a charity event 2 years ago. He's been her consultant since. I found texts, intimate ones. They're lovers, Evan, and they're playing you for a fool." Evan's grip tightened on the phone. "Anything else?" Travis hesitated. "Yeah, they're booking flights to Belize one way for September 15th. Names: Claire and Nathan Wilson, fake passports." The date was 3 weeks away. Evan's mind raced, plotting like he once did in Kabul. He emailed Marcus Reed, a private investigator and former SEAL teammate. "Marcus, tail Nathan Holt. Riverfront, Unit 412. I need his routines, contacts, everything." Marcus replied instantly. "On it. You okay, brother?" Evan didn't answer. Instead, he opened a drawer, pulling out a photo of Lily at her first soccer game, her gap-toothed grin beaming. Claire had been there, cheering. Was it all a lie? Upstairs, Lily stirred, calling out in her sleep. Evan climbed the stairs, tucking her blanket gently. "I've got you, kid," he whispered, his voice thick. Claire's betrayal wasn't to just about money. It was about breaking the family he'd built for Lily. Tomorrow, Claire would return from her client dinner, and Evan would play the devoted husband, biding his time. But the warrior in him was awake, and he'd make sure Claire and Nathan paid for every lie, every dollar, and every moment they thought they could outsmart him. The dawn light filtered through Savannah's oak-lined streets, casting dappled shadows on Evan Carter's Ardsley Park home. It was 6 a.m., a week after Travis Boyd's damning report exposed Claire's $450,000 theft and affair with Nathan Holt. Evan hadn't slept, his mind a battlefield of strategy, honed from SEAL missions in Fallujah. Lily was at a sleepover, her absence a hollow ache but a tactical necessity. Evan needed focus to dismantle Claire's web of lies. His study, now a war room, held stacks of financial records, GPS logs, and the chilling riverfront condo recording. Claire's voice, plotting to steal his $2.8 million portfolio, looped in his head like a taunt. Evan's first move was legal. He drove to Forsyth Park, meeting Lydia Grant, a divorce attorney with a reputation for shredding fraudsters. Her office overlooked the park's iconic fountain, a stark contrast to the grim documents Evan spread on her desk. Claire's drained $450,000, forged my name on credit cards and mortgaged our Tybee house, he said, voice steady but eyes burning. She's planning to flee to Belize with Nathan Holt, a con man. I need to stop her. Lydia scanned the evidence, bank statements, emails, Marcus Reed's surveillance photos of Nathan at the riverfront. This is airtight, she said. We can file for divorce, citing fraud and adultery, and freeze her accounts. But Evan, she's manipulative. She'll fight dirty. Evan nodded, expecting nothing less. I want full custody of Lily. Claire's trying to pull her into this, talking about Belize like it's a vacation. Lydia's pen paused. That's a red flag. Courts don't take kindly to parental alienation. We'll request an emergency hearing. Evan handed her a USB drive. This has everything: recordings, GPS, fake passports. Use it. Lydia's eyes widened at the audio of Claire and Nathan scheming. You're thorough. Ex-military? Evan's silence answered. Next, Evan met Marcus Reed at a diner on Abercorn Street, the clatter of plates masking their talk. Marcus, a grizzled ex-SEAL turned PI, slid a folder across the table. Nathan Holt's a ghost. Uses aliases, moves cash through shell companies. He's meeting Claire daily at Unit 412, planning to forge your signature on power of attorney papers. Marcus's photos showed Nathan with a briefcase, Claire laughing by his side. They're cocky, Marcus added. Think you're clueless. Evan's jaw clenched. Not for long. Tail them. I need their Belize contacts. Marcus nodded. Got it. Watch your back, brother. Nathan's got a temper. Back home, Evan checked his security system, a fortress of cameras and sensors from his consulting days. Claire was at a charity brunch, but her Tesla's GPS pinged at the riverfront again. Evan resisted the urge to confront her. He needed more leverage. He called Travis Boyd, who dug deeper into Coastal Ventures. It's a front, Travis said. Nathan's funneling your money into Belize condos listed under Claire's fake name, Claire Wilson. They've got a local partner, some shady developer. I'm tracing him. Evan's voice was steel. Find him. And Travis, check Claire's phone records. I want every call, every text. The final piece was Lily. Evan drove to her school, watching her soccer practice from the bleachers. She waved, her braid bouncing, but her smile faded when Claire's name came up. Mom's been weird, Lily confided. She keeps talking about moving away. Just us. I don't want to leave you, Dad. Evan's heart cracked, but he hugged her tight. You're not going anywhere, kid, promise. That night he found Lily's diary, left open on her desk. Mom says Dad's too busy for us. Is she right? The words gutted him. Claire was poisoning Lily's trust. Evan's plan crystallized. He'd confront Claire tomorrow, after her client dinner. Lydia would file the divorce papers, freezing Claire's accounts. Marcus would track Nathan's Belize partner, cutting their escape route. Travis would hack their communications, ensuring no surprises. Evan would play the oblivious husband one last time, luring Claire into a trap. He'd demand she sign papers returning the $450,000 and Tybee house, claiming it was for tax purposes. If she refused, he'd unleash the evidence, recordings, emails, passports, through Lydia's court filings. As dusk settled over Savannah, Evan stood on his porch, the scent of jasmine heavy in the air. Claire's betrayal wasn't just financial, it was a war on his family. He'd fought insurgents in deserts. He could fight a liar in his home. Tomorrow, he'd face Claire, his voice calm but his resolve lethal. Resolve. For Lily, for justice, he'd tear down her empire of lies, brick by brick, until nothing remained but the truth. The Savannah dusk draped Evan Carter's Ardsley Park home in a golden haze, but inside, tension crackled like a live wire. It was 7 p.m., the day after Evan finalized his plan with Lydia Grant and Marcus Reed. Claire had just returned from her client dinner. Her auburn curls slightly mussed, her smile too bright as she kicked off her heels in the foyer. Lily was at soccer practice, a deliberate choice. Evan wanted her safe from the storm about to break. His study door was ajar, papers neatly stacked on the desk, a trap set with precision. Tonight, he'd confront Claire, armed with evidence of her $450,000 theft, her affair with Nathan Holt, and their Belize escape plan. Evan leaned against the kitchen counter, sipping coffee to steady his nerves, his SEAL training suppressing the rage simmering beneath. "Good dinner?" he asked, voice casual, but eyes locked on Claire. She froze, her purse halfway to the counter. "Oh, the usual donor schmoozing," she said, laughing too quickly. "Exhausting, but necessary." Evan set his mug down, the clink loud in the silence. "Funny, your Tesla was at the riverfront again. Unit 412. Not exactly donor territory." Claire's smile faltered, her fingers tightening on her purse. "What are you talking about, Evan?" "I was downtown." He stepped closer, pulling a manila folder from the counter. "Stop lying, Claire. I know about Nathan Holt. The $450,000 you stole. The Belize condos. Fake passports under Claire Wilson." He opened the folder, spreading bank statements, GPS logs, and a photo of her with Nathan, her arms around him. Claire's face drained of color, her eyes darting to the door. "This is insane," she stammered. "You're spying on me? That's low, even for you." Evan's voice hardened. "Low? Like forging my name on credit cards? Or telling Lily we're too busy for her so she'll follow you to Belize?" Claire's facade cracked. She lunged for the folder, but Evan caught her wrist, his grip firm but controlled. "Sign these," he said, sliding papers across the counter. "Documents to return the $450,000 in Tybee House, drafted by Lydia." "For taxes, you said. Do it, and maybe we talk custody." Claire yanked her arm free, her eyes blazing. "You think you can bully me? I'm not signing anything." Her voice rose, shrill, as she backed toward the kitchen island. "Nathan warned me you'd pull something like this." The name ignited Evan's fury, but he stayed calm, baiting her. "Nathan's a fraud, Claire. You're throwing away our family for a con man." Claire laughed, bitter and wild. "Our family? You're a ghost, Evan, always locked in your study, playing soldier. Nathan sees me." She grabbed a knife from the block, her hand trembling but resolute. "Back off, or I swear I'll use this." Evan's pulse spiked, but he'd faced worse in war zones. He stepped forward, voice low. "Put it down, Claire. You're not a killer." The front door slammed open, and Nathan Holt stormed in, his face flushed, a crowbar in hand. "Get away from her, Carter," he bellowed, clearly tipped off by Claire's frantic text moments earlier. Evan pivoted, instincts kicking in. "You're bold, Holt, showing up here," he said, dodging as Nathan swung the crowbar, shattering a vase. Claire screamed, the knife slashing wildly, grazing Evan's forearm. Blood seeped through his sleeve, but pain was secondary. Lily's safety was all that mattered. Evan disarmed Claire with a swift twist, the knife clattering to the floor. Nathan charged, but Evan sidestepped, slamming him against the wall, the crowbar skidding away. "You thought you could steal my life?" Evan growled, pinning Nathan. Claire scrambled for her phone, sobbing. "I'm calling the cops. You attacked us." Evan released Nathan, stepping back, his voice ice. Claire froze, her phone slipping from her hand. Nathan, panting, glared at Evan. "You're done, Carter. We'll ruin you." They bolted for the door, Claire snatching her purse, Nathan shoving past. Evan didn't chase. He'd planned for this. Marcus Reed was outside, tailing them, and Lydia had already filed for an emergency restraining order. Blood dripped from his arm, but Evan's focus was razor sharp. Claire's lies had ignited a war, and he'd fight it to the end. For Lily, for justice, for the family she'd tried to destroy. The Savannah night was thick with humidity, the air heavy as Evan Carter stood in his kitchen, blood still seeping from the gash on his forearm. Claire and Nathan Holt had fled an hour ago, their threats echoing in the shattered quiet of his Ardsley Park home. The broken vase and scattered papers bore witness to the violent confrontation, but Evan's hidden camera had captured it all: Claire's knife, Nathan's crowbar, and their lies. He wrapped a towel around his arm, his SEAL instincts overriding pain. Lily was still at soccer practice, safe with her coach. But Evan knew the war was far from over. Claire's parting words, "We'll ruin you," were a promise, not an idle threat. At 8:30 p.m., blue lights flashed outside. 2 Savannah PD officers knocked, their faces grim. "Evan Carter, we have a report of domestic assault," the lead officer, a stocky man named Delgado, said. Evan's jaw tightened. "Let me guess, Claire Morgan Carter." Delgado nodded, holding up a tablet with photos. Claire's arm, marked with fresh bruises, her eyes red from crocodile tears. "She claims you attacked her and her associate Nathan Holt with a knife." Evan's blood ran cold. Claire had staged it, turning the truth inside out. "It's a lie," he said, voice steady. "I have video proof. Check my camera." But Delgado shook his head. "We need to take you in for questioning. Hands behind your back." The cuffs clicked shut, cold steel biting his wrists. As they led him to the patrol car, Evan caught neighbors peeking from their windows, their whispers a dagger to his reputation. At the precinct, he sat in a stark interrogation room, the fluorescent lights buzzing. Delgado and his partner, Officer Wells, pressed him. "Why'd you attack your wife, Carter? Got a temper?" Evan stayed calm, repeating, "Check the camera footage. It's all there." But Claire's story was airtight. Bruises, Nathan's corroboration, and a 911 call from a terrified Claire played on speaker. "He's dangerous," she sobbed. "He's ex-military. I'm scared for my daughter." The mention of Lily hit Evan like a gut punch. Claire was weaponizing their daughter, painting him as a monster. Outside, Marcus Reed watched from an unmarked car, having tailed Claire and Nathan to a motel on Ogeechee Road. He called Lydia Grant, who was already drafting a motion to dismiss based on Evan's evidence. "Claire's at the Savannah Inn, room 214, Marcus reported. "She's with Holt and they're panicking. I saw her apply makeup to fake bruises before the cops arrived." Lydia's voice was sharp. "Get me photos. I'm calling Captain Elena Hayes. She owes Evan from their SEAL days." Elena Hayes, a Savannah PD captain and Evan's former ops coordinator, arrived at the precinct by 10 p.m. Her presence shifted the room's energy. "Delgado, pull the footage from Carter's house," she ordered. "And get me Claire Morgan's financials. This stinks of a setup." Delgado hesitated, but Elena's authority was ironclad. By midnight, the camera footage was uploaded, showing Claire's knife attack, Nathan's crowbar swing, and their threats to ruin Evan. The officers' faces paled. "That's not what she said," Wells muttered. Travis Boyd, meanwhile, hacked Claire's phone, pulling text to Nathan. "Make sure the bruises look real. We need him locked up." Another message, sent post-confrontation, read, "Meet me at the motel. We move the money tomorrow." Travis forwarded the texts to Elena, who presented them to Delgado. "Claire's lying," Elena said. "And I've got bank records showing $450,000 in unauthorized transfers to a Cayman account. Release Carter, now." At 1 a.m., the cuffs came off. Evan rubbed his wrists, his face unreadable but his resolve steel. Elena clasped his shoulder. "We're not done. Claire and Holt are at the Savannah Inn. My team's watching them." Evan nodded, his voice low. "They're after my portfolio, $2.8 million, and they want Lily." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Not on my watch. Go home, get cleaned up. We'll handle the warrant." Evan drove home, the city's moss-draped oaks a blur. He called Lily's coach, ensuring she'd stay overnight. Claire's lies had nearly cost him everything: his freedom, his daughter, his name. But the footage, texts, and his team had turned the tide. Claire and Nathan thought they'd won, but they'd underestimated a SEAL's resolve. Tomorrow, Evan would strike back, ensuring their lies crumbled before they could touch Lily or his future. Evan Carter's truck roared down Ogeechee Road, the Savannah skyline fading behind him. It was 6 a.m., hours after his release from the precinct, where Captain Elena Hayes had dismantled Claire's false assault claims with video evidence and hacked texts. Travis Boyd's latest intel burned in Evan I.'s mind. Claire and Nathan Holt were at the Savannah Inn, room 214, preparing to transfer his $2.8 million portfolio to a Belize account. Their flight was booked for tonight, September 15th, under fake names. Evan's knuckles whitened on the wheel. Claire wasn't just stealing his money. She'd texted Lily last night claiming, "Dad's in trouble, come with me." Evan had kept Lily safe with her coach, but Claire's manipulation fueled his resolve. At the motel, Marcus Reed's unmarked sedan idled nearby, his binoculars trained on room 214. "They're packing," Marcus whispered over the burner phone. "Nathan's on a laptop, Claire's on the phone yelling about a bank delay." Evan parked a block away, slipping a concealed Glock into his jacket, a precaution from his SEAL days. "Stay sharp," he told Marcus. "Elena's team is 10 minutes out." He approached the motel, blending into the dawn shadows, his boots silent on the gravel. Through the window he saw Claire, her face taut, shoving clothes into a duffel. Nathan typed furiously, cursing under his breath. Evan kicked the door open, the wood splintering. "Going somewhere?" he said, voice like gravel. Claire screamed, dropping her phone while Nathan lunged for a pistol on the nightstand. Evan was faster, tackling Nathan to the floor, the gun skidding across the carpet. "Not this time, Holt," Evan growled, pinning him. Claire grabbed the duffel, bolting for the door, but Marcus blocked her, his frame filling the threshold. "Sit down, Claire," Marcus said, his tone lethal. She froze, eyes darting between them, her charm replaced by panic. "You can't stop us," Claire spat, clutching the bag. "The money's already moving, you're too late." Evan stood, keeping Nathan down. "Wrong. Travis froze your Cayman account. You're Belize partners in custody. Elena's team got him last night." Claire's face crumpled, but she rallied, her voice venomous. "You're pathetic, Evan. Lily deserves better than a paranoid soldier. She's coming with me." The mention of Lily snapped Evan's restraint. "You don't touch her," he said, stepping closer. "You've lied to her, poisoned her against me. It ends now." Nathan twisted free, grabbing a lamp and swinging it at Evan's head. Evan ducked, the lamp smashing against the wall. Marcus tackled Nathan, cuffing him as he thrashed. Claire seized the chaos, sprinting past Marcus toward the motel lot. Evan chased, his boots pounding asphalt, catching her by the arm near a rusted pickup. "Let go!" Claire screamed, clawing at him. She pulled a flash drive from her pocket, waving it. "This has your portfolio codes. I'll destroy it." Evan's grip tightened. "Give it up, Claire. You're done." Sirens wailed, and Elena's squad cars screeched into the lot. Claire's eyes widened, realizing escape was impossible. She threw the drive to the ground, stomping it, but Evan yanked her back, scooping the shattered pieces. "Evidence," he said coldly, handing it to Elena. Claire sobbed, her defiance crumbling, but her words cut deep. "Lily will hate you for this," she hissed. "I told her you're a monster." Evan's heart clenched. He'd shielded Lily, but Claire's lies lingered. Elena's team dragged Nathan cursing into a cruiser. "We've got their laptops," Elena said. "Travis is tracing the transfer attempt. Your money's safe." Evan nodded, but his focus was the black SUV pulling up. Lily, brought by her coach after Claire's texts. She ran to Evan, eyes wide. "Dad? Is Mom okay?" Claire lunged, restrained by an officer shouting, "Lily, he's lying! Come with me!" Evan knelt, holding Lily's shoulders. "She's not taking you, kid." "I've got proof she lied." Lily's lip trembled, torn between them. As Claire was cuffed, she screamed, "You'll lose her, Evan." The words echoed as they shoved her into a cruiser. Elena clasped Evan's arm. "We need you at the port." They were meeting a contact to smuggle cash. Evan looked at Lily, then the cruiser fading into the dawn. Claire's lies had pushed him to the edge, but the fight wasn't over. He'd follow Elena to the port, end this, and bring Lily the truth, no matter what it cost. The port of Savannah buzzed with cranes and cargo ships, their steel silhouettes sharp against the morning fog. Evan Carter crouched behind a stack of crates, his Glock steady, eyes locked on a rusted freighter where Claire and Nathan Holt's contact was waiting. It was 7:30 a.m., September 15th, minutes after the motel raid where Evan had stopped their $2.8 million transfer. Captain Elena Hayes signaled from a nearby SUV, her team fanning out across the docks. Travis Boyd's hack had traced a final wire attempt to this ship, crewed by a smuggler tied to Nathan's Belize network. Lily was safe with her coach, but Claire's words, "Lily will hate you," gnawed at Evan's focus. Elena's radio crackled. Target spotted deck 3. Evan moved, silent as a shadow, his SEAL training guiding each step up the freighter's gangway. Inside, the air was thick with diesel and salt. He spotted the contact, a wiry man with a satchel, handing it to Nathan, who'd slipped cuffs during transport, exploiting a rookie officer's mistake. Claire stood nearby, her face haggard, clutching a burner phone. "Hurry," she hissed. "The flight's in 6 hours." Nathan counted cash, grinning. "Carter's finished. We're free." Evan stepped from the shadows, Glock raised. "Not quite." Nathan froze, the satchel falling. Claire gasped, her phone clattering to the deck. "How?" she stammered, but Evan cut her off. "Your smuggler's surrounded. The money's locked. It's over." Elena's team stormed in, rifles trained, cuffing the contact. Nathan lunged at Evan, but a swift elbow to his jaw dropped him, blood trickling from his lip. Claire screamed, "You've ruined everything." Her voice broke, raw with desperation, but Evan's gaze was steel. "You ruined us, Claire. You chose this." Elena hauled Nathan to his feet, his bravado gone, eyes darting like a trapped animal. "You're looking at fraud, conspiracy, and assault," Elena said. "Belize won't help you now." Claire sank to her knees, sobbing, but her tears held no sway. Lydia Grant arrived, her briefcase in hand, serving Claire divorce papers on the spot. "Fraud, adultery, parental alienation," Lydia listed. "You'll see court, not a beach." Claire clutched the papers, her defiance shattered, whispering, "I just wanted more." The team escorted them to cruisers, but Evan lingered, the weight of Claire's betrayal heavy. He drove to Forsyth Park, where Lily waited with her coach by the fountain. Her braid was loose, her eyes red from crying. "Is it true?" she asked, voice small. "Mom lied? About you? About Belize?" Evan knelt, his throat tight. "She did, kid. She wanted to take you, but I couldn't let her. I've got proof. Texts, videos. You'll see it when you're ready." Lily hugged him, her sobs muffled against his chest. "I thought you didn't want me," she whispered. Evan's heart cracked. "Never, Lily, you're my world." Back at the precinct, Travis confirmed the $2.8 million was secure, the Belize accounts frozen. Marcus clapped Evan's shoulder. "You got him, brother. Clean sweep." Elena added, "Claire and Nathan are facing years. We're charging the smuggler, too." Evan nodded, but his mind was on Lily. That night at their Ardsley Park home, he showed her a photo from her 5th birthday. Claire laughing, Evan carrying her on his shoulders. "Your mom wasn't always like this," he said softly, "but she made bad choices. We'll be okay." Lily traced the photo, her voice steady. "Just us now, right?" Evan smiled, but the ache lingered. Claire's lies had scarred them, and Nathan's greed had fueled the fire. Justice was served, but the cost was a family fractured. As Lily slept, Evan stood by her door, the quiet house a reminder of battles won and wounds still healing. The truth had set them free, but the road ahead was theirs to rebuild, step by careful step.